Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Graham Report. One more video I want to get in today. The reason I decided to even start this channel was the story of the DNC picking Tom Perez to be the chair of their party. And for me, this is a major missed opportunity by the Democrats, who once again just don't understand who their voters are and what they're expecting. I mean, for me, the biggest thing here was, why was this a story? Generally, it's not major news who's going to lead the party. Why? Because there's supposed to be an objective person who just manages the candidates who come in. They're not actually pushing their favor towards anybody. But in this election cycle, what was unveiled was that there's a big divide in the Democratic Party. You have people who are very progressive and then people who are centrist. And the party, when they nominated Tom Perez, chose once again to go the way of centrism. And centrism is a losing strategy that you think they would understand, because they've been losing on that strategy for the better part of 2 decades at least. It even goes back further. If they would ever have thrown their support in for a progressive, their party would be thriving, and honestly, I feel like this country would be too. But to even elect Tom Perez, it's just completely tone deaf to the needs of the people. And I mean, Bernie Sanders was trying to represent the population as opposed to any other politician. And the reason he had such a big following is because people realized that he was a genuine person. Now, instead of doing what he says and electing Keith Ellison, who would have been a better choice than Tom Perez, but honestly not the ideal progressive person. I mean, Sam Ronan had some interesting thoughts on how to actually build the party through grassroots means, and to give support to small people instead of establishment picks. And of course, what the Democrats chose to do was to side towards establishment again, refusing to represent people, and then they try to give us this story that the party's unified, which is complete horseshit, and no one who voted for Bernie really thinks that. People who are progressive and who are paying attention, they recognize that the Democrats aren't trying to represent them, and so they see this this token move of making Keith Ellison deputy chair, and it's laughable. It really is. So anyway, this story is ridiculous. Democrats missed the point. This isn't even a news story in normal terms. It's a news story because we wanted change, and what we got was the same old thing. That's the Democratic Party for you. So get used to losing elections, because that's apparently what their specialty is. And you know, one other thing I want to say, Tom Perez proved how spineless he was when during the race he finally admitted that the DNC had pushed in favor of Clinton, which was against their own rules, during the primary. The very next day, with his tail between his leg, so spineless, he comes out and walks back those statements and said Hillary won fair and square. You know what? Whatever your opinion is, just have that be your opinion, but don't be a fucking puppet. Jesus Christ, have a